And so I just wanted to check it out again and listen to what it sounds and what it does. So for those who aren't familiar, first of all, I'll just have a quick run through. Yes, that's right. I've got the Silver Bullet Louder Than Liftoff back in the studio after a while of not having it here. The reason why is because I demoed the SSL Fusion a few months ago, and so I got in contact with Brad again because obviously I've still got that Fusion sound in my head and I wanted to hear this because they are very, very similar boxes, but they are both flavour boxes. They are both things that you put across your two bus for me for mastering. And so I just wanted to check it out again and listen to what it sounds and what it does. So for those who aren't familiar, first of all, I'll just have a quick run through. If you're not familiar with this box, it basically is, to keep it basic, you can look on YouTube for other videos that will go into detail, but you have on this section here a mic preamp, or you can do line level or do individual instruments. So they can all go into the back via the various different connectors. You don't need to reconnect stuff because there's some just for the mix, some for the tracks. So you can have all those set up and then just move it from the front, which is super helpful. It's got some phantom power on there. Now what this box is really is some line amps, which are giving saturation and sound that are derived from the API kind of sound and the Neve sound. And so what you're doing here is when you're going into the box, you can select with this Mojo button whether or not you're using this section. And this section has A at the top, then N, or you can go A into N, or you can go N into A. So you can swap them around. These here, so this is A, this is N, so API Neve. And then you can say, okay, I want to push more in, and then you can change the output. So you've got an input-output state gain there. So what you're doing really is you can either push into it and get that sound that you like and colour it up. And they have got very particular sounds, which is nice. Love the Neve sound on here when I was doing it. So that's really cool, the way that you can drive in and really, really colour up mixes and colour up the sound of instruments through there, so you get the Neve or the API sounds. Really nice. Then we move on to this section at the end, which is more of a kind of EQ finishing style on the end here. So you've got this button here that says tight, which is effectively a low cut, but it does a little bump at about 40 hertz, which means it gives it a kind of tape sound. Love that. And then you've got the tone, which turns this on and off. So these are Baxendale EQs. So if you don't have a dangerous Bax, this is pretty handy. And so this is the low and then the high. And then you can decide whether there's a bass and a sub. So you can decide, okay, am I wanting to use this for the super low frequencies or a bit higher? I think it's about 100 hertz and then that's about 50, but I'm not sure. So check that out. And then you've got an air band, or you can have presence. So that's obviously doing the high mids, or it's doing the super, super highs. And these EQs just sound gorgeous. I mean, I love the sound of them. They don't necessarily sound like anything I've heard or used. So, but with the air, it's just really clean and you can go forever. It's like a Baxendale EQ. I've got a dangerous Bax and it's very similar in that respect. But when you use it in combination with that tight button, it's really get a really punchy bass from this sub frequency. Really nice sounding. Then there is, the last thing on this is a vintage button. And all that's doing is giving you, like there's that the transformer one on the Fusion. This is giving you, that's like a British, old school British desk that you can use there by putting that in. Although this is an American unit, that's giving you a little bit of a flavour of that old kind of, 60s, 70s sound, which is really nice. And it's not so over the top that it's not adding too much noise. It's just adding a really nice sort of flavour in there. So I wanted to get this back in so that I could run some samples through it and I could just let you know what it's doing so that you can hear it for yourself. And if you are thinking of getting a Fusion, keep this in mind as too, because I think they are very similar. This is quite versatile with the mic pre's and stuff. The Fusion obviously has its benefits too, which I mentioned in the video, so I'm not saying either one is better, but what I want to do is just say to you, you need to listen to this as well, because this has got a lot going for it. If you're looking for something at the end of your mix bus to colour up the sound And just to finish things off, you might want to add a little bit of tops or add some, add some real colour. The thing that's different about this, it doesn't have the compression and the high frequency limiting that the Fusion has. So if you're looking for that, then maybe the Fusion's a way to go for you. But if you're just looking for something that's a finishing box, just adding a bit of colour, a bit of bass and a bit of sound, and you can also use it on individual instruments, then this is definitely worth a look. So I'll stop talking and we'll get into some audio samples. Obviously it's Matt My Assistant's track again, so that I don't get any kind of copyright strikes. Before I get there, do you like discounts? Do you want to get free stuff? So giveaways from pro audio manufacturers. I get people who want me to promote their stuff, so I pass those discounts and codes and things onto my Audio Anoraks newsletter readers. So if you want to become one of those, go to the link below, which takes you to my website, streaky.com, where you can sign up for the Audio Anoraks newsletter. There are about 25,000 Audio Anoraks already on there. Once a month, I send off an email to those people. It's only once a month. I don't spam you, giving you tips and tricks, things that I see around the web that I can't give on YouTube, but mainly it's discounts and giveaways and things that you might be interested in as a fellow audio anorak. So go to the link below and go to streaky.com. Okay, less of my chat. On with the audio samples. They will also be available in a link below. Thanks for watching.